I'm Bob Parker.
Cat Parker. My name's Catherine, but I go by Cat.
Okay.
And we are Bobcat. We live totally different lives.
Right. I was raised on the East Coast. Catherine was raised on the West Coast. Connecticut which is where I'm from. Best way I can describe it is it's very traditional. I had an older brother, 2 younger sisters, and we lived in the suburbs of Hartford, Connecticut, and it was really pretty normal. And I came to California, worked my way out to California in 1971, and I was here about a year. And I walked out one morning and I said, this is where I'm supposed to be. I am not going back.
Well, I grew up in the Bay Area. I grew up in a little town of Fairfax in Marin County. And I'm the youngest of 7, so my best friends and who I played with were my siblings. I was a brownie, I was a Girl Scout, I behaved myself. I was relatively shy, I was pretty protected because of my family, and I could not wait to get out when I graduated from high school. So I went to school in Oregon, and I was only there for 2 years. And my first semester I was a pre-law. I went into pre-law with a art minor. Kept changing my major, but I always kept like this art thing going on in the background. And finally my dad just said, there's a college in San Francisco that's just kind of ramping up. And he goes, I really think you should, look into it. So it was the Academy of Art in San Francisco.
We met in a juggling class. The 2 of us, this is San Francisco in the early 70s. And there was a thing called Heliotrope, which was a free university. And you could sign up for it. There were maybe $5, $10 to take the class. And they had everything in there, from cooking to hiking to just tons and tons of skills available. And we happened to both pick up on a juggling.
I always wanted to learn how to juggle, and I saw that and I go like, oh, I'm going to go to this class.
Same thing with me. Right? I always thought, well, that looks like fun. Kat would come up and we'd meet at lunchtime and practice juggling back and forth between ourselves. At one point, we
could have gone on the road. 2015, we retired and we started kind of plotting out what we were going to do. This is the most planning we ever did, I think, in our life.
We had to get a truck. So
that was our first step, yeah.
Okay. And we knew that it wasn't going to be easy to find a truck. A guy at our bank who specialized in finding used cars with him, and I gave him a list of 17 things that we wanted, that we were looking for in this truck.
He said, you're not going to find it.
Yeah, don't hold your breath. A week later, he calls us up and he says, well, there's this truck in Gilroy. It turns out it had every single thing on my list except the inboard navigation, which I discovered I didn't want anyway, and that was our truck. Power of attraction. Like Kat was saying, we had absolutely no idea what we were going to do to not work. I figured I was going to work till I was 75 and die or something, I don't know. So we discovered camp hosting. We went to Indiana for a week.
Well, I had written a list.
Yeah.
And I had written down, like, where do you get your mail? Where, how does this work? We did that. We met other people that were just like us, found out how to live that way. And we loved the people. The people were just really great, And we just got rid of everything out of our house that we had.
Literally, we had to sell everything except what would fit in the RV.
I'm not kidding you. It wasn't a weight, but something lifted off of me. It was just like, whew. I mean, when you live as we live now, very simply, it's very light. You're not carrying a lot of things, and I think things have energy to them. And so when you get rid of all of these things, you're just not carrying around the energy anymore.
We finally found an RV that we were going to get. When we picked it up, we practiced driving this route back up to the fairgrounds where we were going to keep it the first night.
In our imagination, we believe, we were practicing pulling it.
Yeah, we would
So
drive down. I'd drive as if I was pulling a big rig and go have the picture. We finally got it. We have the picture of the two of us standing next to it. It's finally hooked up to the truck, and we're standing there like this, all set. Start to get around the curve. So my truck is now starting to face down, and I'm committed to going around the curve with this 38-foot fifth wheel. And then all of a sudden, people are starting to rush around and make U-turns. And I look up, and a restaurant where they sold hamburgers is engulfed in flames. And so I just stopped because, what the heck?
There's no turning back.
No turning back. No, I am blocking the fire department. So,
and they're all rushing out.
And they're all rushing around trying to get the doors open and get the fire truck. This one fireman goes over and just stops everybody in the one lane and looks at me, goes like this, like that. And I went, yeah. And we took off. Without a doubt, my favorite thing of my entire life. The Mexican government has a marine sanctuary in a bay down there, which is where the gray whales come to calve. You can go in boats out in there and it's coming up.
You can see spouts everywhere you
all
look.
over.
I mean,
so
not just one, but
he heads over there. Our first experience was we're going along and we're all looking like this. The one mother whale literally came up to the boat and brought her baby, and with her fin pulled it over so the baby was right next to the boat. We petted whales, live whales in the ocean. Wonderful.
The babies are like velvet,
Yeah,
I mean,
so smooth.
but there's they're just, like you're sitting there, and this one baby came and turned on its side and looked at me, and their eyes are this big, and I swear it looked directly into my soul. I mean, it was like the moms come over and they want to be pet because when they were little, they had that experience, right? So they come, hey, yeah.
But the babies are all smooth.
Yeah, it was amazing. Yeah. It was like just to be around that kind of magical energy of an animal. All of these things, I mean, we just have so many stories. Every place we went. We spent 8 years on the road. I can't imagine spending 8 years doing anything any better.